Good evening to all for this wonderful gathering for the program, the webinar on trends in the web development. So on behalf of our Vice Chairman Engineer E.V.Kumaran sir, on behalf of our Registrar Dr.R.Sathyaseelan sir, on behalf of our beloved Principal Dr.R.Ravichandran sir, I welcome our today's chief guest, Mr. Syed Mohammad Maghialam, CEO of an Crescent Technosoft from Chennai. Welcome you sir for this wonderful presentation and share your knowledge related to the developments of a web, which is crucially needed in this pandemic situation, while the development of the web, which take more crucial and as well as the aspects which will goes over it. So on behalf of Department of Computer Science and Engineering, in the part of a Center of Excellence in the name of a Center of Skill Development, so I welcome you all. And also this program is association with Computer Society of India, Mumbai chapter. So I welcome all for this gathering for this program. So now I make our chief guest today's young mind and as well as a dynamic person, Mr. Syed, to take over the session. Please, sir.
Yeah, yes. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes. Thank you, Mr. Jothish, for giving us a chance to share the ideas about the latest trends in the web development. Okay, so before I start with the proceedings, so let me just introduce about the Crescent Technosoft and this thing. Like, actually, see, we are a software company, and since 15 years we are in this field. Okay, so we have been developing various projects for the hospitals and even for the this industrial segment, and we have been catering to the needs of the various sectors by offering them a very good customized software solutions. And Crescent Technosoft has been in this market for the past 15 years, and we have branches across Chennai, Bangalore, and other places as well. And we have clients across, and not only in Pan India, as well as we have clients across in Gulf and other nations as well. And this is an expanding company, and so it's on the expansion mode, and we have been able to really grow up very fast, and we hope that this company is going to be a helpful company for even for the students as well as for the other serving the customers as well. Like, so now today's section. So today's section is what. So actually now everywhere wherever we go, and currently particularly in this this is a time where this COVID and time is there, and now the total world has changed. I hope all the students are hearing to the conversation, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So actually now see this once because since this pandemic, the whole working style has changed, and the whole official things have come to a total change, that it has become a new world, right? So employees have started working from home, and total dependency has increased for this web technologies, cloud computing, and all this has become a major role in after this pandemic. And so once this since this work from home infrastructure has started beginning, so as I don't know, then it's going to be many of the companies, they are going to bring a hybrid working atmosphere, so where the dependency on the web technologies is going to increase. So being the final year students, so each one of them being a final year students that of a CSE branch, so it's very important that you should know what are the recent trends which are happening in this web technologies, and what are the advancements which are happening, so that when you come out from the college, so you will be having a better understanding of which career to choose. So you are this final year students, you are on a path where you have to choose your exact career. Like, so what is going to be your career? So where people talk about many technologies, people talk about different streams and all those things. But this is a time where you need to really think about where is the career, which career we are going to choose. So in today's section, so let me just explain you a brief about the progressive technologies which are going to be the future trends which are going to be the career where you can make your career. So it's like when you call us a web technologies, of course, you should be in your college curriculum, you should be knowing what is a web technology. So web technology is nothing but, so it's going to be a totally an online based system where people are going to be connected from various places. You sit in India, you're able to connect with a different place, and all this Google Meet and all those things is all happening only since this cloud and web technologies are involved. So with the help of web technologies, we are able to sustain this COVID pandemic also. And where one very important scenario which has happened in this COVID pandemic is most of the industries has really come down, but the only one industry which is still going forward is the IT industry. So IT industry has really started booming up in this pandemic. So for Jyotish sir, is this really the scenario now? What is happening here now? Because wherever there are lots of opportunities coming up, there are lots of opportunities for the freshers and all those things in IT companies. So IT company has never fallen down in the COVID pandemic also, like, since because it's they have brought their infrastructure accordingly. So they bring most of the companies have started adopting the technologies, adopting various methods so that they stay afloat in the market. The market is not disturbed because they are concentrating on different verticals and all those things like. So hope all are audible, because this online sections we don't interact, we don't have a face-to-face interaction. So it is just looking like a one-man speech which is going on, right? So anyhow, let me just talk about the latest trends in a web development which are going to be ruling the future. So we have been hearing a lot about the artificial intelligence. So where people talk about, yes, you do a course in artificial intelligence is going to have a better future and all those things. And the demand for artificial intelligence in every segment has increased. So then there are a few of the Web 10 technologies which we have to really focus on. So out of this, I'm just going to highlight some of the technologies. People always say that there are around 10 or 11 technologies which we are going to be crucial in this future. So let us go into, let me brief you about some these things which we are going to have the impact. A few latest trends in the web development. So one is a progressive web applications, and as I told you, it's an artificial intelligence and chatbots. Bots is nothing but the chatbots. And then there is one more trend which is going on, is a voice search, and then the serverless architecture, and then the graphical interface, a motion user interface, and single page applications. And there are a few of mobile friendly websites. And then we talk more about the blockchain technologies. So this blockchain technologies is again is one major area where people have started migrating. And then it's all about IoT. So this IoT is again where these are the common trends which are going to be the carrier for you, the future in the web technologies as far as the web development is concerned. Like, so coming to the so we'll just have a small lookout of what is these titles are about. So like, what do you mean by progressive web applications? I'll not be covering the whole thing, so I'll just try to brief you out. So what is this called as, like? So hope, I think the people will be, of course, they will be knowing it, because since and they are into the final year. So most, of course, even if other words will be new, what the artificial intelligence and chatbots is going to be there in the mind of everyone. Like, so I want to make a career in artificial intelligence and other things, like, because artificial intelligence is one area where this is going to be not only is going to be there in the all the even if any segment, like even if you are going to a healthcare segment, or even for the industrial segment. So everywhere this artificial intelligence is going to come into picture. Like, so in the future, that is what is the plan which are happening. The bigger software companies, wherever we are seeing the applications, all applications are getting interface with the artificial intelligence concepts. So let me just brief you on what is the progressive web applications. Like, what do you mean by progressive web applications? So progressive web applications, we talk about the progressive web applications, is something like why we are going for this kind of progressive applications. So when we are developing any kind of a website, so we should be very aware that this website should be a compatible website with all the devices what we are connecting, because it cannot be a single connectivity device where it can be viewed only through the system, only in the system, or only any in the mobile or something. When we are making a website, we should be able to plan up, like, okay, this website has to be comfortable viewing in all devices, let it be supporting any operating systems. So the main advantage of using this progressive web applications is going to be the really reduced development and supporting costs. So it will reduce the development. So this is like kind of an application where you will have a less development effort, which will have ready-made templates available, and through which we will be able to develop this kind of an progressive web applications. And the more advantage of this is we can easily update the changes which we are doing. Like, so it will have a reduced cost of maintenance, and we'll be able to easily when we are installing this kind of applications in a customer places, like why the companies are adopting this kind of applications is, when we are adopting this kind of application in customer places, it will help the maintenance to the customer in a easier manner. So this is just a brief of the progressive web applications. So these are the trends which we'll talk about. I just said, okay, what are the advantages of using this progressive applications? So reduced development and supporting cost. So what is this reduced development and supporting cost? So the reduced development and supporting cost, as I told you, when we are taking up a project, when any company is taking a project, so they will really think about what is going to be my development cost, where I'm going when we are taking a project from the customer. So we should understand, like, what is going to be, we should calculate what is going to be the development cost. And so if we are going to use this kind of applications, we are going to have the development cost to be reduced, and quicker launch to the market, because since it's all going to be and drop applications, like where it's going to be designing this kind of an application is going to be very easy. So whenever we get an customer, so it will be an easy launch to the market. So we will be able to launch it in the market in a very easier manner. Like, it will not take much of a time, because the customer, when we are giving this product we take a project from the customer always talk about the time, the tag. He says, okay, I want to make this product ready in a very short period of a time. So using this progressive applications, we will be able to give the customer a better support, better time limit to the installations and other areas. So the next point what I mentioned is the smooth installations. It makes this there won't be much of complication when we are installing this kind of progressive web applications in the different hosting servers and other things like. And of course, as I told you, it will involve less maintenance and updations will, it's not like, okay, every time we need to keep updating and something like, so it will have a seamless maintenance and updating is going to be very easy here. So because when we are updating something after we develop a website and we are starting updating it every time, so it will not take much of our time and it will be very easy to update this kind of applications. So the next screen, what as I told you, is going to be all about artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, of course, and chatbots. So I think you have heard about chatbots. So chatbots is nothing but, okay, so when we say, if you're seeing any kind of a website, so what happens is you will find a pop-up window opening. So pop-up window which is asking like, may I help you or something like that, right? Hope the conversation is audible. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Because at least say someone is at least telling me, okay, yes or no, then I'll be able to really know what is whether you are hearing or whether the feedback is there or something is there. It's just going to be a blind lecture. So chatbots, of course, I think you'll be knowing what are about the chatbots and these things. So because chatbots is a easier way of communication. So just like an opening the screen, you will be able to see, may I help you? Or so immediately there will be an admin person there. So where they'll say, okay, they will just immediate automated messages you will be able to receive. So even in any kind of applications, like so even a website, these are and web applications. So because immediately, because this is a service oriented, of course, software and web development is a service oriented industry. So adopting this kind of methods are going to be very important. So artificial intelligence and chatbots are going to play a vital role because it will go side by side, because for developing a chatbot, we have to understand, we have to bring in the concept of the AI concepts. So we need to exactly analyze the data and analyze what is uh, immediately when a search is happening, when your website is opening, so immediately it is able to respond. The chatbots are able to respond to the communications. So this is going to be a one more very important aspect, where when you're developing a website, so you have to take care of this. So involve these concepts into the website, that makes your website a more marketable one, and using this website, people can start getting in more business and all those things. So all these concepts are very important when we are developing the kind of a website to the customer places. So I just given a small projection. So with a projected worldwide market size of 2024, this is going to be a driving force for business communication, because nowadays we are seeing everywhere like WhatsApp and all those things. So just 2 days back, we had a block of the WhatsApp for six hours, right? So that has affected billions of. If the Facebook has really lost billions in that, just after 6 hours of blockage. So nowadays, all this chat, wherever the chatting is involved, the chatbots market is really going to grow in expected to be a very vital force, driving force for business communications. And people have started nowadays. Now, if you are seeing now more the previously there was a thing like, okay, people used to visit the email and interact through the email and all those things. Now all things are happening through the chat windows. So chat windows, they are able to share the articles, they are able to share the documents and all those things. So the artificial intelligence part is going to get involved in this the recent trend. So the next trend what we are going to talk about is going to be the serverless architecture. So what do you mean by serverless architecture? I think hope you all will be more hearing about the clouds, cloud computing, cloud market, and all those things. So what is a cloud? So cloud is nothing but you share your data, you have your data in online, and it is hosted in different places. There are lots of hosting peoples or data storage companies which are hosting our applications in the cloud. So there are different types of clouds which are used. Like, so there is a public cloud and there is a private cloud, and there is one is a hybrid cloud where it involves both the public and as well as the private cloud. So I just given a ratio of what is the usage which is happening in the cloud, where public is going to be 96% and private cloud is about 76%. People are using the private cloud. So again, this computing, the cloud computing technology. So using this cloud computing technology only, so all our data are secure. Now see, people are talking about work from home, and how are the data stored? So people, they store it in a cloud, and we are able to share it. The employees are able to share those uh, cloud data into a different. People are sitting in different places, but they are able to work in share the cloud data with different people. So this, that is called as a public cloud, where people are really now that is going to be again a very important aspect when we are talking about the recent trends in the web development. So this is a trend which is going to be really booming. This cloud data computing is going to be the drive the career future for you peoples. It's, and talking about because why people are preferring cloud and other things is because the cloud, if you are going with the cloud applications, it has a reduced infrastructure cost for the company also. Why companies are preferring the cloud? Because it is going to have a reduced infrastructure cost. For example, we are installing some applications in your, as for like in college itself, we are having an ERP of a college ERP. So if we are going to implement an ERP in the college, that should have a system infrastructure. We should maintain a server, we should maintain different clients machines, and we should see whether the network is right or wrong, whether it is all perfect, and all those things are going to be there. So but if you are installing this in a cloud, so the total infrastructure cost is going to get reduced, and the manpower cost is going to get reduced. We will not be requiring any system admin to maintain this thing. So it's, you are just going to implement the application, and just scale up the application whenever you want. Like, so it's not necessary, okay, I have to invest on this much, and so that whenever you want any modules to be integrated and all those things, so we can keep on enhancing it accordingly to the scale needs of the thing. So people have started migrating. So there are gone are those days where people were using this offline applications, the desktop applications, and all those things. Now most of the companies, most of the people, they are preferring going for the cloud applications. So now this is one area where people are really showing interest, and this is we have to being the final year students, we have to know what is cloud computing. We need to start researching more about this, like what are the aspects which we are going to, how we are going to be aligned with this standard of the market which is there now. So then the next part is what I think, which is going to be very trending, is an initial stage I was telling about. When we are developing a website, we should be really concentrating on whether this website is going to be a mobile friendly website. Okay. So because we need to develop a website which is going to not only in the desktop computers, it should be accessible in the mobile devices, it should be easily readable, and we should create a kind of a things like navigations and links are easily accessible and clickable. And so it now, because gone are those days when people are opening the laptop and they are seeing the content websites. When we are sharing the websites, so it is going to be shared in the through the mobile. So when we are sharing the mobile, so they immediately they open the mobile and see, okay, this is a website. So it should be a responsive website. So responsive websites are the need of an hour now. So because the digital era now, this is, we call it as a digital era. So where without an IT, there is none of the sector, if I say none of the sector is going to be there without an IT, without the help of an IT revolution, none of the sector is going to manage. Let it be a hospital, let it be any kind of an industry, let it be any educational segment, colleges or anything. They are going to be dependent on the IT infrastructure. They are going to be more, they have to really invest on the IT infrastructure and all those things. So in that case, like websites are going to play a vital role where when we are developing the website, so we have to really think about, okay, what are the responsive websites, how we are going to make and all those things. I just given a small thing like how digital market is going to really capture the old market, like, okay, because it unique, see, mobile users now, it's not like, okay, now everyone is having a smartphone, everyone is having an and usage of internet is really good. And even nowadays in rural places, everywhere where you are seeing, so we have a lot of people, or everywhere there is a net which is reaching there, many fiber net connections, and all those connections are really there. So it becomes very easy for everyone to communicate in the mobile. So it's very important when we are making a website. So we need to make a website is such as that it is friendly, mobile friendly website. So now since we have come to this, let me just tell you a brief about how we are going to develop a mobile friendly website. So mobile friendly websites, because there are a lot of technologies where we are going to be involved in developing a website. So when we talk about website development, the most heard language, the people always talk about, okay, website, how is the website developed? So people always say, okay, we have developed this in either in HTML. Gone are those days when people are developing in basic websites and all those things. Now every website, they wanted to make a responsive website, e-commerce websites and all those things. So the most trending language which is going on in the development of a website is going to be the PHP. So I think in your curriculum also, a basic of PHP would have been covered, right? So PHP is a part of the curriculum, no, sir? Hello.
Sir, especially for the third year students, while they have been studying in the even semester for the name of an internet programming, they will get the PHP in 1 unit, sir.
Okay. Yeah,
so the students are in fifth semester. Maybe in future, that is while they come for the even semester, they having a topic of PHP in one particular unit. Actually.
Okay. Okay, because now what is happening is now the PHP is becoming a booming language, like, so because when we have to develop a kind of a website or something, like, people always prefer going with PHP. So because it has, yeah, it has different frameworks, and so it's a very easy language, very easily we can learn. If you are going with ASP.NET, comparative with the ASP.NET and JavaScript and all those things. So PHP is a easy language, where it's a very interesting language. And of course, it's going to be a trending language for the career as well. So in PHP now, there is one called as a core PHP, and core PHP, it involves only the basic fundamentals of the PHP. And nowadays, what people are started, every company is following this Laravel. Hope you have heard about Laravel. So Laravel is kind of a framework which are used in a mobile, which are used in applications for developing many web applications. This kind of a frameworks are being adopted. So PHP has different frameworks, like Laravel is one of the framework, Code Igniter, and then the Zen framework is there, Cake PHP is there. So all these are different PHPs, the frameworks which are involved in the development of any kind of a web applications. So these frameworks will not be used in website development, but when we are developing a kind of an application, for example, suppose we are developing in a school ERP, or suppose now our project we have developed that hospital management system. So we have used all of the Laravel framework and the Angular frameworks for developing that. So, and it supports it's a kind of a language which is very easily understandable for the developers as well. Like involves less time and all those things. Like so, because I just given a small features of the Laravel. What is the key features of Laravel? Is all about like supporting for the MVC structure, MVC architecture. Because MVC architecture, so because to make a responsive website or a responsive web applications, we need to have this MVC architecture and a bootstrap technology. So bootstrap technology, we design a website using a bootstrap technology and MVC architecture, then we can make this website or a web application say responsive. So even this and one more major advantage of using this PHP technology is because this is going to be an open source technology. Because now people are preferring for most of the people they prefer for uh, this thing like open source technologies, because when we are going with the Windows technologies, uh, the cost of the cost of development is going to be high, and even for when we are selling this to the different customers, so they have to have the license versions and all those things. So again, now people have started going with PHP because it's going to be an open source technology, and where it works in all the platforms. So even in the Linux platform, it will be working. Even suppose if you are having a Mac system, the website applications can run in a Mac systems. There is no dependency on any operating systems. And now Windows 11 is going to be launched. I think it's already launched also. So Windows 11. So whatever be the launches, this technology is going to be adoptable for it. So if you're going to develop it in a Windows-based technology, what happens is only when we have a Windows server or Windows operating system, we'll be able to implement that software, or we will be able to implement that application. So, but when we are developing this applications using these kind of frameworks like the Zen frameworks and the Laravel frameworks and all those things, then it makes our dependency on the operating system reduced. So that is what most of the customers they are preferring it, because because since we are in this market from past 15 years, so we were developing the applications in Microsoft technologies like the .NET, Microsoft .NET and ASP.NET and all those things. Still we have some of our applications developed in Microsoft ASP.NET, but the majority of them they started asking, okay, why not we have an application which is going to be not operating system dependent. So we want an application which you say, okay, I want the same application to run in my Mac system as well. I want the system to run in a Ubuntu operating system as well. So then we started migrating our things also. We have two platforms going in our company as well. So now we are having developers in Microsoft technologies, as well as we have one complete team which is taking care of the PHP development. So because when we are going for the cloud infrastructure, cloud computing and all those things, always this Linux based technologies are going to be very playing a vital role, because it is very easy there for API integrations. Because if you are going to integrate the existing software with different APIs now, because for example SMS, we want to integrate an SMS API into the applications. So we want to integrate a WhatsApp API into the applications. So all these API integrations and all, it supports very easily this Laravel framework and Angular framework, what we talk about. So it's going to support us very easily when we are integrating those kind of APIs and all those things. So, and of course, even in when we are talking about the database, the PHP is going to support the database like MySQL database, and even the SQL database it supports. So when we are writing the code is going to be very easy and all those things. The database migration is going to be very easy here. So all it's a now. So most of the companies they are slowly migrating to PHP development, and they are the core PHP. Of course, the core PHP is becoming outdated nowadays. The core PHP, only if you know only the core PHP, this is not going to work out, because we have to really concentrate on knowing about the frameworks. So what are the frameworks which are involved, and these frameworks are going to play a vital role, because now core PHP is slowly getting outdated. So we need to know what is Laravel, we need to know what is Cake PHP, we need to know what is Zen and Code Igniter, Angular, and all those things, because technology is one thing where we need to be always having on our tips. Like what I say is, we don't know when one technology is going to go and when a new technology is going to come in. So we need to really know that what is happening in the recent thing. Now, when we have gone off those days when we use Visual Basic for the development, and we had studied Photon, and we had studied COBOL, Pascal, and all in our college days, the initial college days. But now we don't know where are those technologies. No one is adopting. And this Fox Pro, the one time Fox Pro was really ruling the market, but now we are unable to find any Fox Pro developer also, right? So so it's like that. So even in .NET technologies, okay, there are, so first previously we were using VB.NET. Now it has come to, we are now using ASP.NET. So we have to be really go align with the recent trends which are happening in the web development, recent trends which we are going to adopt in a software development. So any IT industry are going to walk in. So you need to know the advanced technologies. You have to really think about what are the advanced technologies which are happening in a market. What are the companies following up before you go into any kind of an interview or other thing? You need to know, like, okay, this company is following this technology. I need to really make myself equipped with those technologies. Then our career is going to be easy for us. So hope I think I have just shared some ideas about the recent trends. What is happening, Jyothi sir? Yes, sir. So I think so. I had just given the details. I just shared you some things. Like hope it was an interesting section. So any doubts or any clarifications you want in this? Like people, was it an useful section? Was it a knowledge gaining section for you peoples?
Yes, sir, definitely. And we having an idea to have an to learn about an Laravel framework because especially when you take our college website, we have an admission link which is mostly preferable for the CC Avenue Gateway. So while
Okay.
we having worked with that particular application with some other people, they told that they have been adapted with the Laravel. So the
Yeah,
framework, yeah.
because now see, when we know only the core PHP, no, even people are not taking up the things also. Like even in the companies, when they say even in our companies, okay, we are just recruiting only people who knows Laravel frameworks, so Laravel and Angular frameworks. So that is one area where the final year students need to really learn about the techno frameworks. That is very important.
Yes, sir. If possible, we can have shortly with a session on Laravel, maybe in this particular month, because students are starting from today that they have been projecting how they can able to do it over their projects in the future, especially for the 8th semester. So
Okay.
we can plan for any kind of a workshop, especially on the Laravel, sir. Actually.
Yeah, it's possible. So I'll just try to arrange an section, particularly in the frameworks, because this is a section where we just wanted to cover and introduce about the trends in web development. So if we have to go in deep, like what are the methods and what are the things need to be there, then we need to have one more section, particularly for the frameworks part alone. Like,
So why I've been asking as a request in the sense, you can go through our website. So especially Arunai.org,
yeah.
because especially now presently the students of final year, they have been studied their internet programming or in the name of a web technology in the even semester. So they have some basic knowledge related to how to work with PHP actually. I think so.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we can able to take that set of people and we can able to make them to have a team and we can have a framework, especially the Laravel framework,
Okay.
so that while they have been coming for the month of December, they have a projection on how the Laravel framework can be adapted with the PHP and with that they can able to go through their project. I think so.
Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah. So once they know the core PHP, I think it's very easy. They can land the Laravel technologies. That shouldn't be a problem.
Yes, yes. So maybe I will plan it for this month end, sir, if based on your time schedule, because our students are ready with at any time as you were wish actually. So we will further move to the communication, and we will make any one framework that is suitable for students so that they can progressively move in their career actually.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So that we can discuss it further on the dates and other things. So we'll have a exact time and date and fix up, and then we can proceed with that. Should be fine.
Any queries from the student side?
Yeah, that is what the students were very silent. So only when normally in the seminars and other things, now when the students also interact, then we have more interest gaining sections. So it has become a one-sided section where it's become a kind of a lecture happening here.
Yes, yes, definitely. Yes, Mr. Karthikeyan from
Yeah, yes,
student
sir.
side. Yes, sir. You can ask query from to our guest, Mr. Sayyid, sir.
Hello, sir. This is Karthikeyan, sir.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, sir. It's really a clear vision, sir, for especially final year students. It's a wonderful section for us, sir.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
because this is a final year students, you are in a time where you have to choose your career. So because people will confuse, okay, they say that lots of people, they have their own things like, so you need to make up your career vision in a part, very exact, like where I have to head towards the career. So this is a time where these sections are needed.
yeah, yeah, yes, sir. Sir, to be a full stack developer, will go with Python is better or Java, sir?
See, now Python again, now since it's going to be a machine level language, and so machine level language is going to rule. So now people are slowly migrating towards Python, and they are having this since it is a machine level language, and where it is involving in every places, they are going with those things. So I think Python is going to be a better.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for providing you with the valuable time and make our students to be known about, especially when you talk about the Cake, PHP, and Zen and Laravel. So I'm happy to take that kind of topics to our students. Actually, I think you make that to be one step to be forwarded to that particular initial step related to the web development. So I'm happy, sir, to be the part of our program, especially in the name of an webinar on the web development. Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Thanks, and thanks for giving us a chance, and we look forward so have a good relationship in the future as well, right? Okay.
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir.
Hope our company helps the students of Aruna Engineering College and giving a good career to them. Like, so that is what is our intention. Like, because we want to build up the students' careers. So because these are the people who are going to really rule the world, right? The final students are going to rule the IT, particularly the IT peoples. So they are going to rule the market. So hope Kirsan Technosoft provides a good breakthrough for Aruna Engineering College students. And thank you for giving an opportunity as well as.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful support that we will make it in future. And now, so I thanks to all the students, and as well as I make my thanks to our faculties to be available in this program. And we will further move on, especially on the web development, which is an interesting topic, and as well as the designing aspect, especially when you go for UI and UX designs and all. That will be really interesting for the students as well as for the faculties to move forward with their curriculum in the name of an internet programming or the technology. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful presence, and thank you, students, to be in this program. Thank you all.